You're listening to The Preacher's Corner, brought to you by In-House Productions, with your hosts, Pastor JT and Lady Fanita. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Google, and Spotify, and find us on Facebook at The Preacher's Corner, IG at the.preachers corner, and our website at thepreacherscorner.net.
Now, what's up? I'm Pastor JT. We back in the building with Lady Mayberry. We have an awesome super producer with us today.
Yes.
Hey man, he is an extraordinary gentleman. I'm gonna say gentleman today. God bless you, my brother. Good to have you, man. She's going to read your bio and let the people know about all of the great things that you have already accomplished. Let's get it.
I gotta sit like the pastor do when the little adjutant read they. I gotta sit in the chair all deep.
That's right.
Sit real deep.
That's right. There you go. You got your hand right and everything.
Well, they normally doing this now.
They do that too.
I don't know what is this. Oh, we'll get to the.
What's the picture like this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We're gonna have some fun.
All right. Multi-Grammy nominated producer Devaughn Bottz, better known as Bottz, is a 20-year entertainment veteran with an impressive history of playing with A-list singers and multi-platinum selling award-winning artists. Considered the go-to producer on the social media app Clubhouse, Bottz has over 64 clients and counting. Wow. This extraordinary self-taught pianist and drummer's impressive roster includes award-winning artists Fantasia, UGK, Maya, Natalie, and more. Bottz also wears the hats as a super successful podcaster on Patreon. Mm-hmm. His podcast, Thinking Outside D.Bottz, is consistently number 3, preceded by Horrible Decisions at number 2, and the number 1 spot held by A-list radio personality and hip-hop artist Joe Budden. Finally, as a solo artist, Bottz released his new single, Tacos and Titties, last week. This highly anticipated single has already been dubbed the anthem for strip clubs. Available on all streaming platforms. Oh, I just want you to know I had to go and listen to that for myself.
Hey,
it was a must.
Hey, you know the sanctified folk, they gonna swear up and down. We ain't saved no more.
They gonna say we lost that little bit we had. We have lost that little bit we had.
We ain't saved no
radio version, and it's tacos and biddies for the super deep and wonderful. You know.
Oh, okay, okay. So,
yeah.
I mean, like well, you know.
Man,
yeah.
That's the society we live in. You know, you either all the way, or I mean, hey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
ain't no in between. You either left or you right.
That's right.
That's
right.
That's it, man.
Well, I laughed listening to it. I was even singing it. It got so
it's very catchy.
Yeah, I got to the end of it. And when you were saying, go taco.
I
couldn't help myself. And he was looking at me like, he's like, you really sang it? I was like, yeah, it's catchy.
Yeah.
People always ask me, like, where did you come up with that? One day I got on Twitter, and it was a Tuesday, and this chick tweeted. She's like, fellas, it's Tuesday. What do you want? Tacos or titties? And so I'm thinking in my head, you know me, I always think, I'm like, man, that would be a catchy song. And so I originally released it only on my podcast. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I got hundreds of subscribers on the podcast. So they was all, man, when I tell you I posted that song on a Tuesday, and they was, man, you got to put this out. You got to da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, you know what? It's fun. You know, it was meant to be a joke just for my podcast. So I ended up getting some artwork done. I ended up going back in there mastering it and I put it out, did a press release, and I mean it's every Tuesday I get the report of the streams and they're in the hundreds. Just because it's meant, you know what I mean? So Rothstein always says, you know, he's like, Bottz, you a genius. He's like, because he's like, you'll be dead and gone, and every Tuesday somebody will be playing your song.
That's right.
Right.
Because it's Taco Tuesday.
I don't know if you get this or if you've ever gotten this before. Your personality, it reminds me so much of Bobby Jimmy and Russ Paul, the great Russ Paul.
Yeah.
And so even sometimes you sound like him. I remember the Roaches, the song Roaches that he did of what was it, Rumors?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So you remind me a lot of Russ Paul back in the day, old Russ Paul. Yeah, man.
I've gotten that comparison a couple times. They told me I was a black Weird Al Yankovic.
Well, see, well, he had to get it from somewhere. So I mean, you know, Russ was a genius, though. I mean, if you go back and look at all the things that he accomplished, man, he was a beast. He was a beast, man. So yeah, man. Your favorite question. Go ahead, roll with it.
I always ask this: who are you? If someone came to you and said, "Who is Devaughn Bottz?" Tell us who you are.
Devaughn Bottz, a proud father first. I'm a musician. I'm a producer. I'm a business owner. I'm a podcaster. I'm a mix engineer. I'm a motivator. I'm an inspirer. And I believe I'm a culture changer. So, you know, when you have all these different wonderful things, you know, the first one is the one I'm most proud of, being a father. And the last one is the one I know is going to help me leave my legacy when I leave this earth, being a culture changer.
That's right.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Speaking of which, being a father, how many kids you have?
I have 6 kids.
6 kids, man.
Marriage, don't y'all think? And I got with baby mamas. They all from marriage.
Hey, we got something in common. All mine from marriage. I got 6.
We got
together
9.
We got 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
how many grandkids?
But they were all marriage.
All married. Yeah,
but we have 7 grandbabies.
Yeah. Okay, well I don't have any grandbabies yet, and I know they're coming. But you know, my daughters are the oldest. My oldest daughter is 23. The second daughter is 21. So I told them they can't have kids till they're 25. So
right. Well, I heard you say something the other day that stuck with me about the fathers and being a father. And actually, I touched on it Sunday in my message, the difference between a dad and a father. Can you expand on that for me?
Well, any depending on how you want to work, any man can make a baby.
Right.
And you know, part of my testimony, you know, I'm not ashamed to say, my father, after I turned about 8 to 9 years old, he just disappeared. He ghosted me, and it ain't like I moved to another city. I literally moved 15 minutes away. My mom upgraded us to a better neighborhood, and my father he was absent. And so with his absence, that drove me as a father to want to not let my kids ever experience what I experienced, you know. And I did a lot of wonderful things as a kid, as a teenager, even in the high school and some college. You know, I played ball. I was a musician. I did concerts. I had, you know, championship games, all this. And, you know, while my mama was at all of that, it would have meant so much more had my father been there. And so my kids, especially my boys, are very active they play football, choir. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, y'all see me almost posting something they do every week. And with my busy schedule, I try to make sure, and I tell them, hey, give me your schedule, because I don't want to be out. And I literally, but prior to this interview, looked at the schedule for the Cookout in the DMV, which is September, and I looked at my son's football schedule, and I was like, we got to change the date. I got to be at the game. You know, this his senior year. He's highly recruited across the country. I can't miss the game. I told Catrice, let's change the date. 5 minutes later, she sent me the new itinerary, because it's that important to me, because, you know, all these wonderful titles people give me don't mean nothing if my kids can't pick up the phone and call me dad.
Right.
I know that's right.
Right.
That's why that first. That's if anybody asks me, all them other titles is cool. I do some wonderful things in the entertainment business, but my biggest accomplishment is my kids. You know what I mean? My legacy carriers, and so I any man can make a baby, but it take a special man. It take a special man with it's in something inside of you to become a father. Daddy is once you make a baby, that's daddy.
Right.
Women call they date daddy. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
So I take that role seriously, and everybody who meets me knows like my kids come first. You can't make me ever put them second. You can't make. I was when my grandmother passed last year. My son's team was in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled, but my mama, mama convicted me. I need you with me. Fine, mama. I will miss one game, but I was at the wake. No kidding. I was at the wake on the high school network watching my son play. You know what I'm saying? It's that important. Me and my kids have a group chat, and I talk to them weekly, daily. I'm very involved in my sons and my daughter's lives. Just because I know the importance of a father. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
And that drove me to be the best father I could be.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Yes,
Man. That's good
is.
stuff. I see you mentioned that you played college football, man. Where you played college football at?
Well, I enrolled at Baylor.
Okay.
I got hurt before I even touched the field.
Wow.
Really?
Wow. What position?
Defensive line and linebacker.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What year was this you went to Baylor?
We were back in the sorry years, 95, 96.
was that when, they weren't under that was before the probation, right?
I think that wasn't still, that was I forgot that coach name. I don't remember the coach name. No, but they was barely winning one game a year. But
so that was with I can't think of the quarterback name. They had a bad quarterback play went to Washington.
There was Walton, and they had Gerard Douglas.
Okay.
Yeah, mid-90s.
Mid-90s. Okay, good deal. Good deal. Good
You
deal.
say back in the sorry days.
45. We talked about I'm 45. I don't look it, you know what I'm saying? I look 35. But the Lord
we're around the same age group, man.
Yeah.
Chopping it up. I heard someone say that they was from Funky Town, and that's exactly where we reside. And so I don't like to talk over nobody, so I tried to say I'm from Funky Town and tried to mention Como and so that's why I hit you in the inbox and let you know.
You heard how excited it was that somebody knew what Funky Town was? She was
right, because that don't be my song. I was gonna say Funky Town, or either I was gonna say Fool With It by Twisted Black.
Twisted Black, right.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that, and and then we got to chopping up, talking about the things and the people that we knew from Como. You used to play. Tell us about that at Strangers Rest.
Wow.
God rest his soul, Reverend Roy E. West.
Right.
So I was an active kid. I'm gonna say that. I don't want to say I was bad, but I was active. So my mom during the summer would ship me and my sisters off to Fort Worth where my grandmother lived. And so when I started school, I had to be in kindergarten. From what would that be? 85, maybe 83, 84, all the way till my freshman year in high school. Every summer I was in Como for 3 months. And also I came up there for Christmas break sometimes. Sometimes I would come for spring break, but I'd be up there. And so living with my grandmother, that's who just passed last year. She lived on Kilpatrick, 8718 Patrick. And so that's why I earned a lot of my stripes. You know what I mean? Como ain't for the soft at heart. You know what I mean? You know. So I had fights in the alleys. I had fights at the center. I had fights at junior house next door, jumping on the trampoline. You know what I mean? So I earned a couple of my stripes up there. But I would go up there and go to Strangers Rest, and they found out I could play the drums because I started playing the drums when I was 4. And so every summer when I came up there, you know, the little drummer that was there was a grown man. He would be mad because they'd be like, let him play, let him play. So later on, Kirk Franklin became the minister of music.
Right.
He was the minister of music at Strangers Rest. And so I used to play with Kirk Franklin. I tell people that was, you know, me and Kirk for like 3 years straight. Every summer I went with him across Dallas and Fort Worth doing these little musicals and concerts, and you know, I was in his back pocket. I was his drummer. So I always give credit to Lake Como, man. The Ridgely, Hewlin. I was there, bro. I like the back of my hand, you know, and it's still there. You know, I saw him at my grandmother's funeral last year, and I hadn't seen him in years. When I say years, it had to be like 92 the last time I seen some of these people, and they were just like, oh my God. The little boy who played drums is not this big superstar producer. And I'm like, yeah, I kept with it. And so Como was dope though, man. You know, I love going to my grandmother. I had a whole different set of friends up there. And there's some that I still stay in contact with, like on Facebook or whatever. But Como and Strangers Rest, man. Strangers Rest and the Center.
Como Center.
If you see the center now, it blow your mind.
I went up there when Marvin Sapp became pastor at that church in Fort Worth. He did a live recording. It was right before the pandemic. It was literally February 2020. I came up and I brought my homeboy. I said, man, I want to show you where I grew up. And so I drove from where Sapp Church was, because we had like a 4-hour break. And I was like, man, let me take you over there. And I was like, dang, I don't recognize none of this. Y'all just created everything. Everything. I'm coming down Brian Irvin, like, am I at the right place?
Yes.
I'm like, where the Williams Chicken at? What you know what I'm saying?
Gone.
They got rid of everything.
Gone.
But it looks so nice.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's so
the sad part is my grandmother's house was torn down, and I believe they're trying to get her next door neighbor, Miss Cleo. They're trying to take her house because they want to put some more apartments there or something. So you know, it comes with, you know, with the, you know, years going by, and Como's are more older. You got a lot of older people there, and of course they're trying to urbanize it. So, but man, I rode my bike up and down Hearn Street, Kilpatrick, going to the corner store that was right behind my grandmother's house. I was always there, man. So I just have great memories going to Ridgemar Mall.
Right.
I have great.
Man, I gotta connect you with the guys. They have a group of men called Como Legacy, and they're the guys that put together the festival. Man, I gotta connect you with them guys, man. And
I might try to do that, man. It's on a Saturday though, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I might try to shoot. Look at my schedule, but I love Como, man. It was. I got one of my first little girlfriends every summer. I'm still cool with this day, and it's funny, we call each other MSB, which stands for middle school boo, because every summer I came up there, that was my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? That was my girlfriend. Yeah, her husband. The funny thing is, her husband a pastor now up there in the Fort Worth area, and we just have good memories, man. From Vacation Bible School to, you know, Strangers Rest Youth Church. It was awesome. So, man, I love Como, man. It gave me, you know, who I am today. You know what I mean? So,
I'm not gonna pick your brain because I know pretty much all the pastors here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna put that on the. No. We're gonna let that one go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So tell us about the cookout.
Man, the cookout, it started. Let me give you the short story, the inspiration of the cookout. So I was at a writing camp right before the pandemic hit in 2020. This had to be January, maybe. And so there was some experienced writers and there was some non-experienced writers. And, you know, we were brought in to kind of teach, educate, you know, all that. Man, these dudes talk so bad to these writers, and the Como in me wanted to do something to them right there in the studio.
Yeah.
I know studio etiquette, plus I was hired. I know I didn't want to mess my money up. But it inspired me to create a culture and an event where artists, up and coming, I hate that word, but they were new artists. Let's just say that new artists, new writers, new rappers, producers, whatever you do as a creative, could have a space to come and learn and network and create records and be taught the right way how to maneuver in the business. And so, of course, the pandemic hits. So that idea just goes out the window. You know what I mean? And I had told one of my best friends, JoJo, about it when at the beginning of 2020. So 2020 goes by and it's the beginning of 2021. So JoJo's kind of like my accountability partner. And so JoJo calls me like the beginning of last year in January. He's like, so what you got planned this year, Bottz? And I'm like, I tell him, well, I want to do this. We still in the pandemic, this, and this. He said, what about that event you was talking about? I said, oh, man, I ain't doing that. We in a pandemic. And he checked me. Like, he, like, stood back and looked at me like, I know I ain't talking to Bottz. Like, what you mean? You don't never say you can't do nothing, bro. And I was like, he checked me. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So that was in January. In February, at the beginning of February, I was in Atlanta working, and I was at the studio working with Jay Kane. Shout out to Jay Kane. And I was telling him about my event, my vision for the event. And he was like, do it here, bro. Do it at the studio we at right now. And I'm like, yeah, I said how to do that. So I came back home, came back to Houston. I called a couple of my friends and a couple of people I know that's in the business. I said, hey, I got this idea that I want to do this event. Are y'all down? And I said, I can't pay for y'all right now because it's about 10 of y'all. I can't pay for y'all, but if you would sacrifice, I say, I promise. Y'all know anything I promise always happens. And they's like, yeah. I said, if you stick around, watch some good stuff happen. And so we did our first one in Atlanta, February 2021. We didn't even have a name yet. I called it the Cook Up, I think. I called it the Cook. No, our first time, I called it the Jam Session. The flyer even said Jam Session. So we did it. We had about, I want to say 30 people come. But in those 30 people, I had Raz B come from B2K. We had one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta come through. We had Mace come through. We had, a couple of people came through and pulled up. So we did that in February. It was very successful. We had 2 songs that we recorded that ended up becoming singles. The 3 actually ended up becoming singles. So we come back home after that trip, and I'm like, hey, I think we own to something. Let's do it. And they like, well, where we gonna go, Bottz? Wherever you tell us to go, we going. So at this point, I'm almost acting like a pastor. You know what I'm saying? I'm the shepherd, and the sheep are just, they come. Yeah. So we say we're gonna do LA. So we start planning the one for LA. We go do now. LA had just come off a lockdown in the pandemic. This is the crazy part. LA just came off a lockdown in the pandemic. I go do one in LA. We had 97 people put.
Wow.
97.
That's good.
It was packed. When I tell you it was packed, it was standing room only. And it was just, had to maneuver. And like, I'm sitting back looking like, yo, we really on to something. So we leave LA. Yeah. At this time, I have a little chick kind of being my assistant, but she didn't really, she couldn't, the workload started getting big. So I had to make a change in my assistant. And Catrice had came to the LA one, and she saw, and she just pulled me to the side like, yo, I can help you with, what you need, because this ain't working. Whatever she doing ain't working. Not hating on her. She just wasn't exposed and ready for it. Sometimes you just ain't ready. You could have the willingness and the attitude right, but it's too much. So I made a change in my admin, and Catrice came on, and we start planning the rest of the year. At this point, we doing them for the rest of the year. Every other month, we're going to do a cookout in a different city. So she playing New York. New York was the next date. We did New York in June. New York was crazy. Catrice brought badges, and you had to wear a mask, and she checked your temperature. It was just, it started looking really, really professional. It was feeling real life event. New York, we did New York. We went on from New York. We went to Miami in August. Miami, we had, man, when I tell you the vibe was so crazy that we had the single that ended up being called Right Now off the record was cut in Miami. And in Miami, I think we had like 60-some people pull up. Now, mind you, this is all during the midst of a pandemic.
Right.
People are spending their money. And And I don't take it lightly because I'm like, you're taking money from yourself, from your kids, from whatever your goals are to come support me. So, whatever I can do to help you, let me know. And so we do Miami. Then we got one more we did, which was in the DMV, which was Catrice's hometown. And we did a live band showcase finale. So we let artists come pay to perform. And we had, I think me and Sean ended up playing like 48 songs. We had a 4-hour concert. And it was, Rothstein's artists, Megan B performed, Brand performed, all the artists on the Cookout team performed, Brendolyn, Lily, or Miss Delila, Brittany, and all them performed, and it was fun. And then we cut the records, and that was it. So of course, we end the year, and the team is like, so what's next?
Right.
So hey, if y'all rock it with me, let's plan out 2022. So we have a FaceTime meeting. We get everybody, and the team is strong. When I tell you, it's like 12 people on the team, from songwriters to admin, and everybody. It's kind of like a church. Everybody brings their gift, and it just gels together. So we come up with, hey, this is what we're doing next year. So we put out the 6. We did 6 this year. We started in January in Dallas. We did March. We did Atlanta, and next week, we'll be in LA. So it's the event is for independent artists. Not just artists, I call them creatives because, we've had poets pull up, we've had spoken word artists, we've had, of course, rappers, singers, we've had A&R, we've had record execs. I believe at this new one, the one we have next week, we got like 3 comedians registered. You know what I mean? So it's just growing. It's growing.
Wow.
Yeah, out of that, man, my screen went, but out of that, you can see, that's the Cookout. You really can't see it, but we end up putting an album together from the songs from last year because I was like, y'all, we got too many good songs not to put this out for the world to hear.
Right.
We put the album out, 12 tracks, and it took off. It hit the UK charts. Right. We had a #1 record in the UK charts. We had a #10 record at the same time, which is virtually impossible for an independent artist, independent record. But it's not just. And so to this day, I think today we are at 170,000 sold.
That's good. Congratulations, man. That is
people good. Don't understand as an independent, that is unbelievable. It's only been out 3 months. It dropped
3 months.
At the end of January. On my birthday was when it dropped. So it dropped January to today. We're at 70K. Which, you got majors right now dropping records that's not hitting that. They just not for albums, they can a single, you can easily try to get it with a single, but an album, a whole body of work is hard. And so people are like, how is it doing? I'm like, it's just because it's great music. If it ain't your cup of tea, I'm sure you're gonna find 1 or 2 songs on there you just like my jam. You know what I mean? Right. We got R&B, we got rap, we got hip hop, we got a struggle record, we got a twerk record, we got a strip club. So
right.
You got everybody.
Yeah. The only person that told me they didn't like the record is Neo Soul. And I keep telling that this is the one person who said, I don't like it. I don't register with nothing. Cool. 170,000 people do. So
I'm telling you.
Right. I got a couple of favorites on there myself.
What's your favorite?
I gotta say, it's a toss between Pull Up. Feels. I like Feels.
Yeah, me too.
That's the one.
That's the one that went #1. Feels.
#1 in the UK for 3 weeks.
Yeah. I like that too.
I like that one. I like Body Open.
Yeah.
And Mood, because I appreciate the musicianship in Mood and Go.
Well, Body Open is by Perry Jones, and you being a music historian, because I've heard you comment on certain stuff. Her dad ran Juice Jones.
Orange Juice Jones.
Walking in the Rain.
Walking in the Rain. Yeah. Wow.
So here's a quick story. Perry came to the LA Cookout. I met her in LA. She's on the Outer Space Freestyle. We go to ahead and go to New York. We in New York doing the Cookout. Me and Perry on Instagram. She DMs me. She's like, "You in New York?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I gotta come through." She come through. We record Body Open. Next week in LA, we're shooting a video for Body Open because it's the second single dropping on the album. It's already garnering Grammy talk.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's gonna be a big record. So
That's
I got a shot next week, and so we're doing. She's already in LA. I flew her and her brother out to LA. They left Wednesday. She'll be at the Cookout, and if you don't follow Perry Jones, she's an amazing talent. Like, I mean, you know, I got to talk to her dad. This was what I wanted to talk about the story. So we had to do a meeting because I was like, yo, I want to shoot the video, So I had to meet with her management. And I'm talking to her management, and I hear this voice, and he's like, hey, Bottz. I'm like, who is this? It's Juice. So I'm like, man, you know.
Me was like cornflake without the chip.
This is mind-blowing to me. You know
me.
And he's like, oh, we know because I got another song on her upcoming album. And he's like, she sing, that's the best album, the record on the album. And he's like, we know who you are. We big fans. And I was like,
wow.
He told me he a fan of, you know what I mean? So
major.
He told me, he said, Bottz, you are doing something that ain't nobody done before. He's like, it's gonna blow up. Like it's once it really start, because I keep telling people we're barely a year old.
Right.
We just getting started. Any great business don't really start blowing up to 2 to 3 years.
That's right.
Right.
And you know, so the moves we're making and you know, doing different cities and the networks we're building, people are starting to see it to where once they come experience it, they never want to miss it. So, you know, I got people who they're lifetimers. They come, one chick, two people actually sent me the screenshot of them sending the Cookout schedule to their boss, like, hey, I'm gonna be off these days. I need these days off.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna be at the Cookout. So,
right. We began to make some maneuvering around ourselves. So we looking forward to tapping into a couple of them. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's kind of like the extension of the No Egos room on Clubhouse. Shout out to Jack and Rothstein, in person, but it's centered on music. You know, we do classes. I got a class for songwriters to help you learn. You know, and we've had people love that class. I teach a production class. You know, how to go from being a beat maker to a producer. So it's not, people think it's just we all getting at the studio and making records. No, it's so much more going on. There's networking, there's education. You eat good. You know, I got a personal chef that comes every Cookout. I got a personal, you know, for the communion saints.
You ain't right.
How good and pleasant it is when we suck.
Yeah. Freaks up.
You white, and I put an I and say sip together. That's what we.
So I removed that and put the I.
Oh, that's right.
It's a great event, man, and I just sit back like I know LA is gonna be crazy. I'm looking at the people who paid their money to go, and we've got 14 new people. You know, of course the but we got 14 new people, and we did LA last year, so this is the first studio we're going back to. I'm gonna tell you how impactful this has been. The studio owner gave me the best deal I've had since I've done the Cookout for studio time. First of all, secondly, he inboxing me and texting me like, we ready. He done posted it. He like, man, we got so much business off of this last year, man. What you need me to do? What you can have as much time as you want. Last year we had 2 rooms. This year, he's giving us a whole floor.
Wow.
Kitchen, 3 rooms. He's giving us a whole floor because they have like New York style. It's a New York style. It's like an office building, and you go to the different floors, and they have 3 studios on that floor. And we only used 2 last year, but this year he's like, you got the whole floor, and the price he's giving me. You know, I tell people I'm favored. That's just favored. That's all it is. So,
right.
We are excited, man. We're excited about LA, and then you know, once LA goes, we be ready for Charlotte, and we getting ready to head to Carolina.
I think that's the one we looking at. That's in July, right?
Yeah, that's tentatively doing the comedy showcase with Bob Sumner. So
okay,
Bob Sumner, that, man.
That one's gonna telling you now. That I people already bought tickets. The tickets are already on sale, so that one's gonna sell out. Well, all of them, really. LA's the only one this year that hasn't sold out. But you know, we have people the week of buy tickets. Once they be like, "Oh man, I got to get my tickets," yeah, because you know we got security and he got a clipboard, and if your name ain't on that clipboard,
not getting in.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
In it to win it.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
That's what's up.
I am very, I wear it proudly. Everywhere I go is I'm a branding man. I love my brand. It is, and the thing I love about it the most is I see these artists growing. I see these artists, everybody leaves the Cookout with about 20 or 30 new Instagram followers because they, and it builds a support system. I start seeing them working on records together, and they all like, man, this is because of Bottz. This is because of Bottz. Because of Bottz. Your event, I met so and so, and so we've had so much success with it, man. So it's here. We've already mapped out the schedule for next year. We're trying to do the Cookout UK. We're trying to go to London because we have. I have some business people over there who want to pay for the whole team to come.
Wow,
that's good. That's good stuff,
man. It's just, man, helping. That's what when you leave this earth, man. People don't really care unless you help somebody along the way. That old gospel song, if I can help somebody along the way, and that's my goal, man. Just to help as many people because so many people in this music business and entertainment business are miseducated. They don't have opportunities. The Cookout album has, I think, 5 people who were never on a national release.
Wow.
So nobody knowing who they are.
170,000
plus knowing who they are. You know what I mean? So that gives I saw a Instagram story yesterday. One of the Cookout team members, shout out Devaughn, and he showed his Spotify, and he was like, "Yo, I hadn't checked my Spotify since the album release, but when I checked it last, it was like I think he said he had 600 plays, and a couple months ago. But he said since the album release, I'm up to I think it was up to 6,000."
Wow.
So he's like, man, shout out to Bottz because I guess promo and doing stuff the right way works, and it's like it helps exposure. And so, man, it's a great, for anybody. Not if you and people just think you have to do music. Auntie comes and she's in PR. She don't do so. She there, networking. I had what's old boy who's in Tyler Perry's thing. Devaughn Johnson pulled up last time. He came just to hang out, and then he supported my vendors. We got a vendor table. We give opportunities, and that's the biggest thing. There's opportunity, and you can't put a price tag on it, and I tell people everywhere I go, I don't make money off the Cookout. You know what I'm saying? The money is paying for the studio and the food. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Last year I went under 25K because I paid for all this. I didn't have I paid and went in the whole 25K. Well, I ain't going the whole. I spent an extra 25K. I ain't planning on spending that year. I'd spend it again if it yield the results it has. And so it's just been a great event, man. And Clubhouse has been real beneficial with it. But we be excited about next week. You ain't gonna see me on there Monday and Tuesday. I'm taking a vacation.
Right.
A little boo thing is giving me she's like, you work too hard, you don't never take off. So she's literally telling me turn my phone off for 2 days. So Monday and Tuesday I'll be in Vegas just chilling. And then Wednesday we crank up the Cookout, and so it'll be another one. And I'm excited about it. So that's the Cookout.
The Cookout, man. I know we are supposed to be getting some things together with where I can offer some of my services to you guys. So most definitely looking forward to everything, man.
I'm with it, bro.
Team and everything. Yes, sir. Tell us about some of these Grammy Award nominations and Stellar Award nominations, man. You've been doing the thing.
Man, I've been blessed to do this. I started producing in 2000, and here it is, 2022, and I'm still relative and competitive to what all these other producers are doing. And I started to rap a lot. Rap a lot. A lot of people have a lot of negative things and bad things to say from me. You won't hear me say one negative thing because that was my first production deal. And so out of that, in Houston, rap a lot at the time, the early 2000s was still big. You know what I mean? So I started working there. I got to work with a couple of artists like Zero and UTP and Scarface. Got to work with them, and then I ended up signing a production deal with Swisher House, and I get to work with Mike Jones and Chamillionaire. So that was actually my first nomination with Mike Jones. I did the original Still Tipping, and so I was nominated for a BET Award and an American Music Award, AMA. So I went to the BET Awards. That was my first time going to the BET Awards because we were nominated. Mike Jones got to perform, and it was a wonderful thing because I had been to LA a couple times before that, but I went there that time and I saw Sunset and everything else with nothing but Mike Jones, All Wild, and Slim Thug pictures. So Houston, and I was real proud to be a part of that project. So that was my first, and Mike got nominated for a Grammy. That was my first one. Then I got to work with Fantasia didn't get nominated for a Grammy. Even the records we worked on never made an album. I don't know what happened. And, you know, sometimes that's just what happens with labels. You can work on a whole album and they'll shelve it. I mean, I got paid. You know what I'm saying? I got my money. So I didn't get that. And then I got to work with Maya. And working with Maya, we got nominated for the Love Jones album. So that was another nomination. Stella-wise, Mika Morrow from Baltimore. She was Stella nominated year before last. Right?
Wow.
And so I worked with a lot of people. Yolanda Adams' sister, Allegro Adams, got to work with her on the gospel side. You know, I'm not a big gospel producer, but I have had some success working with James Abel, who's been #1 on the Billboard charts. Mika Morrow was on Billboard last year. Patrick and UIP was on. So, you know, I got to work with them. Sean Ardoin, who just Grammy nominated, been able to produce for him. And so just, man, I've been blessed. When I tell people that's the word, blessed, because if I don't produce another record, you know, I produced or engineered over 25 million records. You know, I got 8 plaques. You know what I mean? I got 8 gold or platinum plaques. So I got that. You know, I've had great success. The only thing I haven't won is that Grammy. And that's why, you know, this Body Open, man, I'm gonna win a Grammy with that. I ain't thinking about nations no more. I went to the Grammys. It was cool, but I don't like losing. So they're getting ready to put this push behind this Body Open record, and we're expecting big things from it. So, man, you know, I'll be walking across that stage. If I told them when I win, I'm wearing a tuxedo.
You gonna wear a tuxedo?
And Nike sandals.
Nike sandals. With the Cookout on it.
Cookout sandals. I got a Brandon person. I do. You know what? You made me think of that. I might do that. Give me some Cookout sandals.
And with that logo on the sandals, man.
Yeah.
A Brandon, because everywhere I go, and like
just 5%, but 5% for the idea.
I got you.
I just had a mask made out with next week, another one of these, because you know it just.
Oh, that's cool.
It's Brandon, you know, people see it, be like, "You a chef? Yeah, I cook, but it ain't what you think I'm cooking."
Right.
When we went to the DMV, I was renting my car and I had my mask on, and the little chick was like, "Are you a chef?" I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "What do you cook?" And I say, "Music," and she was like, "Oh, I'm a writer," and da 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 da. So she ended up coming to the Cookout.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's good that you had a heart to just help anybody like that. That's you don't meet too many people that's
always
with the credentials that you have to just openly help people and offer advice, man. So we salute you for all of that, man.
That is awesome.
That is very rare and good stuff, man. Working with one of my favorite, I think he was one of my favorite, the legendary Pimp C. I believe I seen him live for the first time. Place called, it was Wet and Wild back in the day. It was Yo-Yo, UGK, it was Spice One. All of them people was in Arlington. I was at that concert, and then fight broke out right after Spice One left the stage. But it was the night was awesome when I saw Pimp C live with Tell Me Something Good back it was in 92, man. I never forget it. How was it working with the legendary Pimp C?
What you heard on the records with Pimp is what you got in person. You know, Pimp was a no-nonsense kind of guy. I learned a lot with him in such a short time. You know, his life was cut short. But he taught me a couple of principles like timeliness. You know, one time I was late to a session, so he docked me. And, you know, if you can't be on time, man, you can't be successful.
Yeah.
So that's one of my sticklers. Everybody who work with me, like, I don't play about the time. You better get there.
Right.
But he also was fun. You know, a lot of people didn't get to see the fun side, man. Recording him was just fun. Just doing beats with him. Like, he'd be like, Bottz, put me some of that M&F and organ on this thing. Make that thing sound like Sunday morning chat.
Right.
So that was Pimp, man. He was what you see is what you get. It wasn't like
he played the organ parts for all of those organ tracks we heard. That was D.Bottz?
Not all of them. But, you know, Pimp played a little. When I say a little bit, it was a little bit. Pimp did a lot, but it's a few. And here's the crazy thing: there was about 15 records when he died that I had produced on that'll never come out. They'll never come out.
Wow.
What?
Because between his label, his wife, and his mama, they couldn't get it. And so they're in the hidden files. I know they're there. You know, my boy Mike Mo know they there. Pimp know they there, but you know, Pimp ain't here. So they kind of died with him. So but working with him was awesome, man. You know, it was an experience. It was definitely an experience because Pimp, you never know what he was really unpredictable. And then you know, sometimes, you know, he moody. Like I say, man, you got your tampon on today. Why you and he be like, out with me, Bottz, man. That. And I told one time, Pimp, I say, man, don't make me take you outside and knock you out. I know you ain't just because you went to the pen don't mean you tough. And you know, but it was fun. It was fun working with Pimp, you know, R.I.P. Pimps. I was able to make 2 records, and that's on 2 more records that got released under my belt. So I think that album just went gold last month. So I can go order me another plaque.
Wow. Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I remember we used to deal with Twisted Black. We was a part of the Contradictions album project.
Okay.
The song that we did didn't get cut because we used Anita Baker's album, a song from her music. A sample from it, and it didn't make the cut. So I remember the track that they did with Pimp C, and the conversation going on. He wanted something switched in the music, and Pimp goes to tell Twisted, "Hey man, what have you made?" And then we thought it was gonna be some tension involved, and we all look at each other, and he was like, "Man, just calm down." And so they just let Pimp C finish doing his thing, and the song came out golden, man. The song called Down Here. So yeah, man, I remember that, man. That was Pimp C.
That's him. He'll pull that rank in it. You know, how many hit songs? I told him one time, I say, well, Pimp, how many Grammy nominations you got?
Yeah, you got it back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Pimp was
see, that's what you know, you get that every now and again. Bottz, I know how to cut my record. Like, you know, you couldn't tell him nothing, give him no pointers in engineering. Hey, Pimp, why don't you like this so you ain't got to punch in? Man, I've been doing this for okay, Pimp, fine. Then he come back and say, you know what, Bottz? You was right. Let me go and punch this in. I'm running out of breath. Pimp, I tried to tell you. But the no-nonsense, straightforward businessman. You know, Pimp was a businessman, so he was smart. And so I got to sit up under him and learn a lot working with Pimp.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
What do you believe the temperature of hip hop is right now? We got Kendrick Lamar, new project dropping with the controversial face changes in the video, and then the death of another hip hop artist just this morning that we find out about that. What do you think the temperature is? And then all of the arrests and RICO cases and stuff going on. How do you feel about all that?
I think we got to get back to making music.
Yeah.
Not the image, not trying to live up to what you do on your lyrics or what you say on your lyrics. Now, while gangster rap has always been around, we know back in the day, a lot of them gangster rappers wasn't gangsters.
They was
Not
right,
at all.
right.
They sold the image. You know, that's why I like the movie CB4, because CB4 is literally what gangster rap was in the early 90s.
Right, right.
So we got to get back to the music, man. Not the RICO charges, and you know, these young cats, man, they don't value life. And I don't, because they put themselves in situations, if they learned the music business. I met a millionaire in the music business about 15 years ago, and he said the smartest thing. I got invited to his house, and I went upstairs, and the brother had this whole party area, disco ball, pole, bar, pool table, big screen TV, all this. I said, man, why you got all this at home? He said, because if I have a party at home, I can get drunk and go to my room, or I can pass out on my couch. If I get high or whatever, I can go. He's like, I ain't got to worry about drunk driving home. I ain't got to worry about getting stopped. He's like, so you'll never see me in the news, messing up. You know, it never clicked to me like that's smart, like
right.
Smart. So they don't focus on the music; they focus on the image. Well,
do.
I do this, and they're not smart. They today's hip hop artists are not smart. And while I was a fan of Juice World, that whole situation just, I'm like, y'all don't know the code of the music game. The code of the music game is you never let the headliner take the fall, ever. If you never seen Notorious, you know that guy told Biggie, like, no, you the one who gonna get us out the ghetto. I'll take the show.
Right.
You just take care of me when I get out. So he did them 7 years, or how many years he did for Biggie. Because you never let, so you mean to tell me Juice WRLD went to the airport and you know he had an entourage, whether it was 3 or 10, and y'all let this man take the fall with all these drugs. He decides he's trying to eat these drugs to hide them and dies. Now I know, because it's just, what are y'all thinking? They're not smart. And one thing I can say about Pimp was smart. Now what he got caught up on, you know, but that wasn't smart. But overall, he was a smart artist. We don't have a lot of smart hip hop artists. They get caught up in the culture. They get caught up in the clubs and get caught up in the gangsterism. When in reality, bro, it's 2022. We don't care about gangsters no more. These rappers are singing to women. While y'all sitting up here trying to prove stuff to the streets, they over here taking your girl with these lyrics.
I'm telling you.
These rap artists, the baby ain't rapped a bar yet. He sang. They singing. So I think we got to get back to the focus on music, because Kendrick is dropping music. I ain't listened to it yet. I said I was going to listen to it when I fly out Monday morning, so I can listen to the whole thing in its entirety without being interrupted. So I'm going to download it Sunday night so I can be on a flight and just, you know, really have time to ingest. Because Kendrick, you can't listen to Kendrick. You got to hear Kendrick.
You got to hear it.
You got to hear it. And
it's a lot in that song. It's so much in that song, especially with the video. You got the transition from OJ Face to Jesse to Kanye to Kobe to Will Smith and Nipsey at the end. It's a creativity and musicianship with the Marvin Gaye's. So it's a lot going on in that one song. So man, I was like, wow.
Play too with the musicianship. You know, you play 10 artists today, you know, probably 8 of them gonna sound the same, the exact same. I mean, the exact same. You know, Clubhouse has taught me over this past year and a half, like, nobody's being creative.
Right.
Y'all lack talent. Y'all lack creativity and originality.
Right.
Just because it's hot and this is what everybody listens to, let me just get in this lane too. And then when this fad dies down, you done died down because you weren't bold enough to really be you and be creative and come up with a body of work that represents you and not what the industry is doing right now.
Right.
That's
what I noticed in that song. You produced Mood. When I first heard it, I say it sounds like a little Prince, and you know that he mixed in here a little bit, man. I appreciate.
That was Sean. That's Misfit Beats produced that one.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Everybody loves that record too because it's good. It's good music. It's got musicality. It's creative. It don't sound like this syncopated R&B all these other women do. You know what I mean?
Right.
it's first they got to be smarter. We got to be smarter. We got to get back to the music. We got to get back to being creative, and the musicality has to change. And I think, you know, they're like, well, can we go? We'll never be able to go back to the old days. I hate when people say, let's get back to that. That's not happening. That ain't happening in music, and it ain't happening in church. You might as well either get with the new age or, you know, get gone, because you're not gonna go back to travail in church for 3, 4, 5 hours.
No, we ain't got them kind of people.
You're gonna be doing it by yourself.
People can watch church at home for 45 minutes and be done.
Yeah.
And so you
or 10 minutes and go back to it and finish it off.
When they get ready.
Adjust and adapt to it, and, you know, figure out a way to kind of have elements of the old school. Because, like, I grew up Missionary Baptist Church. You know, my papa, who passed last month, was my first pastor. When I tell y'all, he was a hell and brimstone. That's it. That's it. It ain't wasn't no gray area, ain't no purgatory. You hell or heaven. That's it. But everybody knew that about Papa. So I grew up learning the word. You know what I mean? But as I start progressing in church as an adult, you know, I start seeing some of this old craziness, and I'm like, y'all do realize y'all doing some spooky stuff. You know what I mean? People walk into church and you just got 30 walking around speaking in tongues. I'm not coming back to this church if I'm a first-time visitor. I don't know what you're saying. Why are you so deep and dark? That's what I call them, you know. So I think, you know, you got to adapt. You got to adapt, because music and church have changed, and we're in a new millennium.
Yes.
Quick.
Yeah, quick.
It's quick. You know, Joel Osteen putting pressure on the Baptist preacher, because he's talking for 25 minutes and done.
Yeah.
Done.
And he done motivated you to go for the week without cussing and, I mean, hollering and screaming and tuning up. He ain't do none of that. He just, hi, you can make it. This week is going to challenge you. You can make it. So, you know,
yes.
Gotta adjust.
And that's funny you say that, because I grew up Baptist. My dad was a pastor, and my granddad was a Baptist pastor, and AME. So yeah, man, AME, then Baptist, and then non-denominational, what we are now. And she was Koji. So we're a mixture of
you bucket.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're a mixture of everything. And so me growing up as a Baptist, I didn't want to hoop. I didn't want to hoop at all. So I wanted to not be a carbon copy of Paw and my dad and them. So I wanted to have my own style, and she has her own style. And so together we gel together. I wear my ball cap in the pulpit. No, I get talked about, but hey, man, it is what it is. We do everything.
Guys who want to wear caps at church. You know, we have so many of these. You know, my grandfather wouldn't let women wear pants. You know what I'm saying? He met my wife and was like, doing with them jeans on.
We couldn't wear pants when we were growing up. We could wear pants, makeup, earrings.
We had to take Paw. You know, you 80 years old. It's a different day, Paw. You got to, you know, Paw said this. I know I ain't got but 5 members, and if I want to fill my church out, all I got to do is give me a gay musician. But when I tell you we fell out,
Papa was the truth.
Papa
was like them preachers that I grew up with.
Yeah. I get that you still have standards, but you know, hey.
Yeah. But you know, them old Baptists and surly, you know, they can't even smile. They just always got a surly look on their face, and like, how you come to church mad? How you already mad? We ain't even sung once. That's my seat. I sit here. What?
Right.
But you know that you have to adjust. Music has got to adapt to bring back some of the, and that's what I'm doing, man. I'm really trying to bring back a new sound and you know, show like this new batch of beats I did for the LA Cookout, which I'm sure y'all are here. People gonna be posting them. I got some musicality in them, you know, because I can play, so I don't have to sample. But I went and got a couple of samples to just, you know, kind of fit the mold and play some old music samples and put some new bots on it and give people like, oh, you can blend them too. Yes, you can. You don't have to sound like everybody sound like this. Everybody sound like this. Nobody's scared to go here. Everybody's scared to go over here, but you want to sound like this. Everybody feeding us the same stuff. So I'm over here by myself. So we're gonna try to bring musicality back.
Good stuff. Tell us how to register for the Cookout.
Several ways. You can go to my Instagram bio and click the link in there. I have a business card. from 10K Cards, one of my sponsors for my podcast, D.Bottz, Thinking Outside D.Bottz podcast, which is currently number on the Patreon app. So want to hear me act the fool? There is $5 and the $10. The $5 for the church folk, my mom and them, and auntie, and then the $10, the uncensored clubhouse version of Bottz. But you can go to their bio and you can click the Eventbrite link in there, or you can go to @thecookout.com, ATTHE cookout.com. Or you can go to we got a Cookout page. You can follow the Cookout page, The Cookout with 3 underscores after it. And if you have any questions, my assistant /director /CEO Catrice, she is in my bio at D_assistant. You type that in and she'll answer any questions. So that's how you're able to register. And the tickets on sale right now for Charlotte. LA is next week. Still got a couple that's open. You know, if anybody sees this at the last minute, like, hey, I want to go. So, you know, it's going on.
Yeah, good deal, man. We had posted some of the information right there at the bottom of the screen, a way to follow on your Instagram at Bottz World Studios.
That's
man,
me.
we are excited for everything that you have going on. The No Music Network and No Egos team. I'm excited to just be a part of it, to be able to be brought up to the platform. I don't say much. I say enough when I get in there.
Yeah.
So,
you drop your gems though. You know, you drop your gems.
Yeah, man. It's trying to get
I've been coming listening. Somebody always say, you want to come up and talk? I say maybe later.
Yeah,
I say at the bottom.
Yeah, we make them talk in our room. You know, they go to these other rooms and you only got certain people that are allowed to talk. And nah, man, we want network. We want somebody's opinion. We want you to be free to, you know, be you and all that. And, you know, if you don't, you know what we say. I can't but you know what we say.
Yeah. I know exactly what you said. So I was trying to tell her, like I told Ali, Will, and Roth, I say, it don't look right for me to go in and pitch what you do. So you got to come in and pitch thing and let everybody else know what you do, because 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to donate to a man with a nonprofit.
That's true. Sad but true.
Sad but true. So you got to come in and promote your own show, your own makeup stuff, your own music. So hey, I can say, hey, Bottz, check out my white music, but it sounds better coming from.
That's
so
true.
you got to come in and do your thing. Do your thing.
He keeps telling me. I said, okay, I'm gonna come in there. I just been listening for now.
Right.
But Will told me, you got to come out of the goo.
Right.
He said, you can't stay in the goo. Come up. And so every time I come in there and listen, he say, come up. And I always say, maybe later, Will. Give me some time.
Whenever some people sit down there for weeks and don't come up. They just listen and be entertained, learn, and then finally they're getting. I've been down there a whole bunch of like, we see you, we know you, but you know, whenever you're ready, ain't no pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it though. I've been enjoying myself listening to y'all cutting up.
Yeah.
We do it
we have, especially on Fridays when you're DJing. Now, I really enjoy that. It takes me back and give me, especially being a pastor, it gives me an opportunity to just let go and chill.
Ain't no judgment, ain't no saints.
Right.
Like, look at pastor in pastor. Look at we look.
Right.
You know, first we know judgment. We are non-judgmental. You know, so
right.
In life, we enjoy life. We enjoy the app. We enjoy the connections we make in the app. So you know, come on in and be you.
That's right. It's been awesome, man. I've been really enjoying myself with the 4 months that I've been coming in, and all of the connections that I've been connecting with different people, man. So and it's several others that we got lined up. We got H. Lee coming up. We got a couple of more that Jay Capera. We connect with him and get him on the show. So it's a couple more that we we are gonna bring in and just make it an opportunity, just like y'all making it an opportunity for us. We want to do the same, make opportunity for other people to get the exposure and tell a little bit about what they got going on, not just make it about the church. And so I didn't want the Preacher's Corner to just be about the church. It just be an opportunity for everybody to get an opportunity to get exposure, man. So we basically taking a piece from your lead, man. So salute for the blueprint of being of service. It's a service to everybody, be a help to everybody. We want to do the same thing here on the Preacher's Corner, man. So we appreciate you, man, for coming through. Aunt Jackie for setting everything up, man. It was an experience to, even in that, to learn how to do it professionally.
Yeah.
Don't
play.
Right. To learn how to do it professionally, and know the way it's similar to how you would invite a pastor to. So it was a great experience to a learning curve. A very good learning curve. Everything has been a learning curve. So it's good.
What we pay her to do.
Right. That's good stuff. You got anything else, girl?
I've enjoyed you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at the cookout, because we're coming to the cookout.
Yeah.
I'm just honored. I'm always honored to be on anybody's platform. So I just appreciate y'all for thinking of this old Houston boy, who loves music and loves making people laugh. And
come on, native.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm part-time, but
part-time. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. I won't be alone when I come. I'm bringing my cameras, and so any type of behind the scene footage, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot it over the wheel, and then let him do his thing with it, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Anytime. So you right down the street. Anytime you need us to come down there, same thing. Anytime you need some behind the scene footage, some promo done, if it's all right with Will, we know we don't cut trying to skip over nobody. So we want to do everything decent in order, man. If it's all right with Will,
gotta do it decent in order. That's what the book say.
That's what the book say. We make sure we make the proper steps done and get it done, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we look forward to having you back. Whenever you want to come back to the Preacher's Corner, anytime you got something new
you are welcome.
Coming up, let me know. We'll set it up. We'll make the proper steps, set it up, and boom, we get it going, man.
With it. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. You got anything else you want to let anybody know, man?
If you ain't got that Cookout album, go get it.
Get it.
You will love it. Trust me.
Absolutely, man. We definitely appreciate you for coming through out of your busy schedule, man. We know you're busy, man. Appreciate you, and we looking forward to hooking back with you when you get off of your vacation, man.
Yes, sir. I'm out.
All right, man.
All right. Enjoy.
D.Bottz in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we enjoyed another one.
Another one in the book.
Dope interview,
exclusive. With a
super producer right here, Preacher's Corner, man. Listen, y'all can continue to sit like a bump on a log, like we ain't got it going on over here. We know we got it going on over here.
We do.
God is opening doors and connecting us with some individuals that not only can come to share a little bit of their life and testimonies, but inspire and encourage at the same time.
That's right.
That he did it for these individuals, he could do the same for you. And so I am honored to be in this season, not only with them, with my significant prayer partner in crime, none other than Lady showing up, preaching and teaching, Fanita or Mayberry. Man, I'm glad to have a ride or die, dap that thing, man, because we're doing some great things for the kingdom, not just for the king, for our community, for individuals that are not a part of the kingdom, that wants to be connected. And then, if you watch this Preacher's Corner long enough, it's gonna be something shared on here that you gonna end up getting inspired, encouraged, saved, set free, delivered.
Something.
All of that in above. If you're not just listening on looking on at the videos, you're checking in the morning inspirations where she's doing the laying the foundations of prayer or any of the other segments, you gonna get some word if you tap in to the Preacher's Corner, man. So,
and you know what I wanted to say too, that I think that in the time that we live in, people need to have an open mind.
Like to have open mind.
Even though we are saved, we love God, we haven't missed a beat, we still gonna pray, we're gonna lay out before God, we're gonna preach the word according to the Bible, line up on line, precept upon precept. But I think that we get put in this bucket, complacent with that portion, and we feel like we can't branch out to see what other people have going on, and a lot of these people know who God is. Right. Everybody either been saved
and they can quote the word
better than some of the
church folk.
I'm telling you,
preachers too.
So we can't count people out because they don't look like us. They don't do what we do. They
or
don't
just because they're not in church, that they don't know God.
That's right. You can't take that for granted.
Can't take that for granted. And so we can come off trying to push ourselves off to somebody, and then that could be very well a turnoff.
That's right.
You done lost that one trying to be something that you're not even yourself.
Yeah.
So man, I definitely appreciate the openness that these I guess have the last couple of guests that we've had, that they shared the knowledge.
Yeah, sharing information, giving free game.
Giving free game.
That's
basically,
what it is.
Not just all puffed up or arrogant at what they do,
humble.
But they're humble individuals, regular people just like you and I, but hey, offering the game. So I appreciate everything that these guys is coming in and sharing with us, man. Listen,
he was not this is a big wig that we had today.
It's a big wig.
Multi-Grammy nominated producer, man. He have worked with some major artists. We heard him say, all the people he's worked with: Fantasia, UGK, Maya, Natalie, Swisher House, Pimp C, Scarface. He didn't even talk about his.
He didn't even talk about.
But he's Scarface.
Right. We seen the interview. Him saying that his first paid production was with the Scarface.
Yeah, he was playing a beat in the guitar
at Best Buy. I used to work at Best Buy. I seen the interview. He said that.
Was it Best Buy Guitar Center?
Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Guitar Center. You're right.
Right.
Yeah, man.
And
so we do our homework on these guests and find out what they do, and we don't want it to just seem like it's just we're starstruck, but we actually want to develop relationships with each and every guest that comes in on the Preacher's Corner. Offer some of us, not just always take, but offering something.
Offering
our services, our prayer, our encouraging, our support to what they have going on in their lives. So it's just not all about us right here on the Preacher's Corner. If you haven't had the opportunity, go ahead, hit that like button. If you like the content that you have seen on this podcast, like it, follow it, share it. If you're part of the original gang, drop that anchor emoji if you're anchored in the Lord. Always show some love. If you don't want to show no love, hit the dislike button if you didn't like something, or hit the like button. Do some extra commenting in the comments. Comment one of the things that you enjoyed about this show or previous shows or whatever, and continue to go back and follow the guests that we've had on today. Go check him out, see about some of the stuff that he had going on his show. Check out the website. He has his personal business card information right there. Follow him on Instagram. Tap in with some of these guests, and not just some of the guests. Tap in with us. Follow the Preacher's Corner on Instagram. It is at the.preacher's corner. Check out makeup page. It's Sessions with Nita. Check out our nonprofit organization. It's at We Are Mafia. And check out your boy at JTM_Ministries 504 on Instagram. If you want to continue to support, be a blessing, go to our website, www.thepreacherscorner.net. Or you may do so on hit me out, First Lady. What it say? What it say? What it say right there? Or the Cash App right there, right there. You want to sow a seed, is the dollar sign, the Preacher's Corner. Or the PayPal is on the website, www.thepreacherscorner.net. Lady Mayberry, you got anything else you want to?
I have been tremendously blessed again. I just thank God for all the connections. I believe this is a God thing. I don't care what nobody says about it. I don't care how they feel. Yeah, this is a God thing. And I thank God for the connection.
I think it was a prayer you prayed earlier this year to surround us around more influential people.
Yeah.
And I think God is answering the prayers. That way we can continue to be poured into instead of us always pouring out. And so I thank God for the season that He has us in, and the direction that He has us going in. I enjoyed each and every moment. I enjoyed.
He is a hoot. He loves to laugh.
Love to laugh. Can't wait to have him back. Can't wait to have him back.
He's funny. He knows the words.
I don't know what you gonna do, but don't stay away. Make sure you come back right here to the Preacher's Corner. I'm Pastor JT. We out.
Thanks so much for joining us for the Preacher's Corner with your hosts, Pastor JT and Lady Fanita. For more information, you can log on to our website at thepreacherscorner.net, Facebook at The Preacher's Corner, and IG The.Preacher's Corner. This is an in-house production. We'll see you next time.